on Ice presents Frozen and Encanto. In one exciting family experience, live in your hometown. Celebrate the power of love, y familia, in the show everyone will be talking about. Coming to Casey's Center November 27th through 30th. Tickets on sale now. Visit DisneyOnIce.com today.
We recommend listening to the CW Pod with a glass of Steeple Ridge Bourbon. Grown, distilled, well-rested, and bottled in Erling, Iowa. Now from the Channel Seed Studios, this is the CW Pod, fueled by Steeple Ridge.
Fascinating thing I've ever watched in my life.
I am fascinated by chimpanzees and bonobos, our nearest cousins. I do not want to watch a documentary of chimpanzees ripping each other's limbs off.
That's not what they do. It's about how the... Hold on, everybody. We'll be with you in a moment. It's about how these researchers like documented these chimps for like 10 years, and about how they all have these... It's like there's like a hierarchy within their villages.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a political system.
And
it's
young
crazy.
males go out hunting for other chimps, and they kill them.
Well, and then there's the chimps like you and me were growing up, like the outcasts that they get picked on. You know?
I can't watch it.
How much they're like us.
Oh, they're 98% similar to us.
Chimp Empire. I'm obsessed with it. It's on Netflix. It was funny. My daughters, they went to the zoo a couple weeks ago, and they didn't want to leave the chimps because of the Chimp Empire. And they're like, "Oh, that's whatever."
So it's like family friendly.
Yeah, it's great.
You don't like see them like die falling out of a tree. They don't go to war because chimps go to war.
They do go to war in the doc. Like there is a war, but you don't see like the really gruesome stuff.
Oh, maybe I'll.
Welcome to CW Pod. Scott Siepker is in today. We are in the Channel Seed Studio. The first CW Pod in the new look. You like it?
I do. And I like that this green lighting just gets a little bit
That's a
on
beautiful
your side
channel
face.
logo, ain't it?
Sure is.
Kelderman Manufacturing made us that cool Iowa Everywhere thing right behind you.
Oh.
That's pretty sweet.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. We are presented as always by Steeple Ridge Bourbon, baby.
Ta-da.
Lovely. I'm going to have Steeple Ridge this weekend. Not a bye week, but a road game for the Cyclones, which means I can just do whatever the hell I want while I work.
If you send me home a bottle, I will also join you.
Deal.
Done.
Deal. He is Scott Siepker. So this show evolves. Some weeks I'm doing the monologue thing now. Some weeks, and I was just... You had the Iowa Nice Guy is back, and I'm like, well, I want to bring Scott in, and we're going to just do what we do.
Yeah,
which is shenanigans. We're going to talk some about. Here's the rundown for today. I wanted to hit on the Dallas Cowboys doc that's on Netflix.
Yeah,
because that's really like our child, and you had a really painful relationship with that group of individuals. Being a Buffalo Bills fan.
Oh my God. And my brother, of course, my younger brother adopted the Cowboys right in that Super Bowl run.
See, and I was the opposite. I was a Herschel Walker fan. Have you ever heard this story?
No.
My dad, to this day, diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. Tom Landry, like Tony Dorsett, like my dad's favorite team in all of sports. And so I'm 5, and Herschel Walker is my favorite player. Obsessed with him, sports loving 10-year-old, and he gets traded to the Minnesota Vikings. See you, Dad.
And how has that worked out for you?
It has been a painfully horrible decision.
Yeah,
for 30 years. It's been a really...
You got a good coach, though.
We have an elite coach. I don't worry about that. But when Flores leaves next year, we have a really good coach in Kevin O'Connell.
Do you got the quarterback?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
You know,
he's just got to be
decent.
He just has to be decent. Like with all the weapons and the scheme, and like you just have to be decent. Don't lose your mind.
Sam Darnold proved that.
Yeah.
What was it? Dobbs? He proved that for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. I think McCarthy can do it, But you have a team that's ready to win the Super Bowl, but you don't have the quarterback that's ready to lead them to the Super Bowl. It's it's an interesting predicament.
Wonder if they should have kept Kirk Cousins.
No, because then you wouldn't have the team around him because you'd be spending so much damn money.
Right.
Like, it's a very complicated. You've got to find a guy like Brock Purdy who's just smart and accurate.
Is he going to be available for a trade? If he doesn't play this week, Mac Jones comes in, trade for Brock Purdy.
But it's another great point, though. Like, would Mac Jones, he would be a better option in the Vikings offense right now than J.J. McCarthy would be.
I agree with you.
Accurate. He's seen some. It would have been really nice if McCarthy could have played last year and then been ready for this year. Like, it's a very.
They would be better off right now if they just had re-signed Darnold.
Yes.
But I understand why they didn't.
But then their defense wouldn't be as good. It's a really complicated.
I love the NFL because really you can't have it all.
No.
You got to pick and choose.
Well, and you're right. There's a lot of things like this what suck about college football because
you can't have it all.
The shitty teams are just shitty and they don't get the number one draft pick.
And what happens now, it's even worse. It's the reverse. You have a good player. What happens next year? He leaves. Goes to another school.
It's so bad.
It's really awful. It sucks. But
why'd you bring the Iowa nice guy back? Because real quick, I want to set this up. We've talked about this a lot. You're an actor by trade. And weren't you like the typecasting thing? Like everybody was just like,
I heard you talking about that on Two Guys.
Do you remember?
Great show, by the way.
We talked about that.
Oh yeah, and Keith and I understand that it certainly is something that I considered because I watch Rainn Wilson, who played Dwight in The Office, in an interview. I see Jason Alexander talk about playing Costanza on Seinfeld, and you can tell those men, despite all of their success and all of their money, it hurts.
Because they're like, there's more to me.
There's more to me, and when now all I am is a clown. So there's certainly that part in it, but that's not why I went away from the Iowa nice guy.
Real quick, I saw Jerry Seinfeld do stand up once, and he did a bit where people could yell out stuff from the audience, or like it was like and he gets pissed when they want like Seinfeld jokes. He gets mad. Like actually angry.
Well, because a lot of those jokes aren't just his. A lot of them are Larry David's or the team of writers. And,
so anyways,
and to that point, the Iowa nice guy, back when we got onto ESPN, it was taking 7-8 people a week to put this together, and we were not being paid. They gave us a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Maybe we could get a pizza or something, but we didn't get paid very much. And also, the Iowa nice guy jokes are not, they're just not me, all me.
It's shocking that corporate media was trying to take advantage of you.
And of course, you do it for the exposure. I get that. But even now, I brought Nick Rankowski back because me and him were the ones who were writing the majority of the sports jokes. Now it's become easier. So I can do it with a lot fewer people on set. So that's one reason now the timing is right. Also, I really didn't think I was ever going to bring it back because the reason it really went away, there are a myriad of reasons and multiple things can be true at the same time, but the most reason was the videos weren't getting views anymore. The joke had gotten old. It had gotten stale. And
it's like an old pro wrestling character.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you can only make the Nebraska stupid joke for so long before it just doesn't ring funny anymore. So that had a big part to it because we ended up, when we stopped doing ESPN, because we had done it for 2 years, and I just felt like, what else are we going to do here? With what they're offering, I can't expand it any. It's going to be monologuing all the time. And so then we switched, and then I decided we were going to do a fake run for governor. I don't even know if you remember this, but the Iowa nice guy ran for governor. I don't know, is it possible Aiden might be able to just search Iowa nice guy run for governor?
Pull
and I thought, this is it. Like, I've established this character. This is going to be really funny. It was Branstad versus Jack Hatch. So there was no way that I was going to actually affect the outcome because obviously our elections are the most important sacred thing. So I thought I was going to do this.
At one point they were.
Yeah, well, I was going to make this, the whole commentary then was you got to get money out of politics. So one of the things I said is that
we can agree on,
yes,
my friend.
And
yes.
I said at the time, I will split all of the money I raise with my opponents as long as they agree to do the same. Of course, that's ridiculous because I would raise $0 and they would raise millions. But that
that's
was the
very
whole
clever, though.
The whole commentary. Yeah. We did negative ads. We threw a rally at El Bait Shop. We threw like a concession rally with people with signs. Like I was blowing this thing up, and it was pretty much crickets.
Really?
And so. At that point,
I don't remember it.
This is my point.
Yeah.
Is that,
and I'm like one of your biggest fans.
Thank you. And if you have
Sorry,
it up,
I'm not trying to be rude.
And so maybe no. This is my point. Is that I also can assess things. It's like I did Bet Your House for, I don't know, a couple years. I did it for longer than I wanted to because we had a sponsor.
Probably but Murph loved it, and he loved it when you would be like on location. And
and it was fun, but it just got to be the same joke over and over again. And I'm just not. That's what I'm really not interested in. I don't want to just keep doing something because it once worked. Because I think it takes away what it is. Now you wait 10 plus years, you bring this thing back, this Iowa Nice Guy college football roast. And now people are interested again. And also, technology's changed totally. Back then, we're producing a 2-minute video that goes on national cable TV in front of millions of people. Awesome. But we didn't have TikTok or Reels at that point where we could clip them down to vertical, and then that algorithm will specifically target those fan bases because it knows it's going to piss them off.
Have you thought about that's a really point. I want to go back to that. On the pissing people off with the algorithm. Have you thought about now as well, like the sports gambling aspect of it has changed completely for this character?
Definitely. And I want to do more talking. I'm open to getting a sports gambling sponsorship. I think that could work. There are some downsides to it, but that's also the thing with the Iowa Nice Guy character, which I love, is that he doesn't. Can I swear on your podcast?
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
He does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
And it's fun to tap into that part of my alter ego or whatever. Because like this week, Bobby Petrino's back.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so there's so there is a lot of comedy in there. But as Scott, like there's part of me who feels somewhat bad for that guy because he clearly has some demons. So making light of it, I'm conflicted. But when you're doing it in the sense of sarcasm and entertainment, we do it. And Nick Ronkowski is an incredible writer. So teaming up with him we're able to, I think, hopefully walk that line.
Aiden says he's found some video for us.
Oh boy.
Let's see what he came up with.
Hello, I'm the Iowa Nice Guy, and I have a message for Iowans. Cue the flag. Our state, along with all others, has a misunderstanding of the importance of non-presidential elections. Turns out said elections are vastly more important to your everyday life than electing a president. The number of important races going on in Iowa at this moment is hard to count when you don't even know there are races going on. NASCAR's had this problem for years. Well, the time for Iowans to not pay attention to these elections is over, because I'm about to make state and local politics interesting again. Let's do this. My fellow Iowans, I'm standing here on the steps of our glorious state capitol building to announce my candidacy for the governorship of the great state of Iowa. Boom. To do this, I'm starting a new political party called the Nice Party. The Nice Party's prime directive prohibits members from engaging in the culturally destructive. Let's bring it back. It goes on for a while, but
there you go.
So
I actually do remember that now.
I really thought that was going to be a thing. And many times in my life I have been wrong. We did a video called Wrestling Nice where I wrote it with Tom Arnold, and I go out to California.
Name drop.
Thank you. And I'm going to Tom Arnold's house. Name drop. And we're working on this stuff. And I thought I spent all of the money I had at that moment to get myself to California to do it, because I thought this is going to be it. This is going to be the next iteration. We had done one season on ESPN, And now I'm going to hit this. I got Jay Moore in it to be naked. Okay, Jay Moore is naked in the Wrestling Nice video. I have
Jay
Tom
Moore
Arnold.
was like a big deal back then, too.
He was we had to go to a Sports National or Fox Sports studio.
Yeah.
And I was with the cameraman I brought with me. There is a guy named Nick Strickland, who was a wrestler. And he, so I did all these things. And I remember talking to Murph and Andy. We were going live at Principal Park that day. And I was telling them, I'm going out to California to shoot this thing. And I remember thinking in my head, if this doesn't work, this is it, because I'm using all my money to fly out there. And it didn't work. Like, it got a few thousands, some thousands of views, but it didn't create the national news I thought it was going to do, because wrestling getting kicked out of the Olympics at that moment was a hot topic. That's where it happened. Wrestling was eliminated from the Olympics.
And our friend Bryce Miller did a ton of great reporting on that. It kind of saved the sport, really.
Agreed.
I give Bryce a lot of credit for that.
I give me a lot of credit, but no, so I know people forget about these things. That was a lived experience for me, where I'm getting the feedback like, maybe this just doesn't have infinite legs. And that's why bringing it back this time, I intend that this is just going to run through the college football playoff, and then it'll be off.
One of the things I've learned with age, that I didn't even know this probably like 2-3 years ago, but it's like sometimes you just have to know when to pull the plug.
Yeah.
Like, not everything we do is going to be a home run. Not everything we do is going to be a single. Sometimes you're going to strike out. The worst thing you could do is just keep striking out with something because it's because of pride, or not even ego, that as a bad but sometimes you just believe in something so much, but it's not going to work.
And you show up to the stadium and you strike out, and there's nobody in the stadium to even see it.
And then all of a sudden the strikeouts compound and it hurts what you're already hitting doubles with.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just is, I mean, at the end of the day, not to make it too complicated, and I hope this doesn't sound like I'm being too pretentious about this whole thing, but it was just one of those things where your gut tells you, man, I think the last video we did was like a cyclone or a Sci Nice, where we went around to all of these statues on the Iowa State campus that are the Sci statues and did some stuff. And that video, same with Herky Nice, which we did in Iowa City, just fell flat, man.
But I would also make the argument that you were ahead of your time, having been there and done this for a long time. There's a lot of things we did with Cyclone Fanatic. Specifically, we're trying to build this digital company in 2009, where Twitter is barely even like a thing. But what you were trying to do would have worked a lot better in the current social media ecosystem. I think back to, I helped you with a video. I was in one of them about like Star Wars. Do you remember that Star Wars?
Oh, yes. Video? Virgin viewers is what I called it. I was going to do this whole...
You should look that one up. See if we can find a clip
Virgin
of that.
Viewers Star Wars, where I interviewed anybody who hadn't seen Star Wars and just asked them questions. And I was going to do a whole series, Harry Potter, Indiana Jones, all the big franchises, Batman.
It was funny, but like people had to like click on a YouTube to find it.
And putting it together was so complicated.
Yeah.
Nowadays, thank you for reminding me of that idea. I might have to bring that back, because now it'd be so much easier to actually produce that and then clipping it. Because that's the thing, is like, you're doing that whole video. If you can just send 90 seconds into the algorithm, that's the bow pulling back and shooting the arrow. Like it's getting targeted. And then hopefully then you draw people into the wider, bigger video.
Yeah, because that whole deal, and then it would just be an algorithm now. It's like, oh, look at this fucking idiot. He doesn't know who...
And I thought Virgin viewers...
Who Darth Vader is.
Yes.
And like, it'll go to the people who care.
Because it was the new Star Wars was coming out. And I thought, this is great timing. This is going to be a hit. And I put it out, and it was a lot of... Back then, editing was so much complicated. And I didn't know how to do it very much, so I had to ask for help. And I thought it was just going to land like, this is a good concept at the right moment. And it just tanked. And it's one of those things, it's like, okay, well, that didn't work. And you're right. Sometimes it is about timing. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Let's see it.
Solo wears a vest.
I think that Skywalker has some sort of a side chick while he's fighting fight while he's fighting the Jedis.
Jedi. Oh, that. Do Jedis, do they use lightsabers maybe?
I think that if you have a green lightsaber, you're good, and if you have a red lightsaber, you're bad. And if you have a purple lightsaber, you're Samuel L. Jackson.
The only black character in Star Wars was Darth Vader. Now, I don't know what he looked like underneath that costume, but he was the epitome of a strong black man.
So if there's an emperor, maybe the guy above Hans, who's incredibly peaceful, and he's trying to keep the peace. And he's like the mastermind to try and take down Darth Vader.
The light side is for good people. And
All right, that's
why
great. Thank you.
Luke and Leia both wear white clothing.
So yeah, that was the idea.
Stormtroopers might be
and
good
I think
because they wear white.
it's a funny concept, is it not? Like if you do that with Harry Potter, and
I've never seen Harry Potter either.
You're so earnest in that, like you're genuinely trying to figure it out and put it together. And so I thank you for saying that. I feel that maybe I was ahead of the time in that way.
You absolutely. I don't know like how much money is to be made on a project like that, but it absolutely would catch on. Like,
oh yeah, and now it's about you can make money in different ways. You get this thing sponsored. You do Virgin Viewers, sponsored by Trojan. You have you have something there.
Absolutely,
and it is sort of evergreen. And it gets to these
great about TikTok
fan bases. Like imagine if I did one on people who hadn't heard a Taylor Swift song. That could be really funny. I feel the same way about my high school basketball career because I was jacking threes all the time.
You're an
and
analytics
driving hard to the hole every time. And back then, if you shot a three and you didn't make it, your coaches were mad at you.
You know what you also needed during these times is the nostalgia. Have you ever drank it?
Oh yeah, I got a couple packs in my.
Look at that. I wish I had one with me. I need to get some here for the studio. I'll pick some of those up.
My neighbor.
What's your favorite?
Anthony likes to come over, and he really likes the grape soda one.
Really?
And yeah, he brings me like a jar of pickles, and I give him a nostalgia.
I would
homemade pickles, by the way.
I would die for the cotton candy.
Cotton candy's good. The mixed berry, is it called mixed berry?
It's like the Hawaiian punch.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. No, that's
so
fruit
good.
punch. That's the fruit punch. They're all really good.
Yeah,
the caramel
that's the
apple
thing.
one's
caramel
amazing
apple
right now.
tastes like one of those caramel apple suckers.
Yes.
They used to eat when you were a kid. I don't even know if they exist.
Pick some up. It's funny too how advertising really works because I literally get like 4 to 5 people a week are texting me like, "Hey, where do I find this?" And they're always in Fairways, by the way. Fairways.
Oh yeah, Fairways.
Great
there.
selection of.
And Barntown, they make good stuff.
Go over to Barntown, of course. I wanted to hit on the Cowboys documentary.
Yep.
Because I'm not done with it yet. For what it's worth, Aiden is. He watched it and he wasn't even alive during a lot of that. But speaking of nostalgia, it's great. The old NFL and like just what this like thing represents to our childhoods is going to be quite different. Like these guys were a group of gods in my house. Like with my dad being a Cowboys fan and all. The Jerry Jones thing is something that I had always heard about. If you guys haven't watched, I probably should have introduced it better. It's a 3-part documentary on the Dallas Cowboys. It's called
like
America's
8.
Oh, is it 8?
6 or 8 episodes.
Okay. Well, I'm like 3 in, so I'm not even close. But I read the book, the Jeff Pearlman book on the Dallas Cowboys, so it's very similar to this. The thing we did this on the Vince McMahon deal. We had you come in and broke that thing down. I didn't realize that Jerry Jones had like sold everything to buy the Dallas Cowboys and that he put his chips all in on this. So I kind of understand the man now where Cowboys fans, they kind of like despise him because he's the GM and he clearly isn't very good at it anymore. He's just kind of this old stubborn guy. But there's part of me that really can understand. He gave up his all the wealth he had built in the oil industry to that point. He put his chips all in on this, and it's like a family-owned thing. He makes the greatest trade in the history of sports. God, do you imagine how hard it would be to just let that go, to let that power go?
And what is he going to do if he does?
He's probably going to die. Yeah, because
right?
he doesn't have a reason to get up. He's been so like in the first few episodes of this, it's like he sleeps there. He doesn't even go home. This is his life.
He he has enough of his own memories that he can say, I've seen it all. I know how to weather any storm. So screw you.
And he still has all those world championships to fall back on. Like, they did happen.
They sure did.
They were decades ago, but...
And the Cowboys are the most relevant team in the NFL still.
They're the most valuable one.
They are talked about all the time because of what they built, or what he built on, I should say. But yeah, I can't watch this documentary because
it's too painful.
It's way too painful. As a little kid who was a Bills fan, I'll tell you, the days after the Super Bowl losses, trying to go to school, were, as the only Bills fan there, were not pleasant for me. And I think that's probably a big reason why I'm such a Bills fan. It's my favorite thing is because it genuinely feels like it's a part of who I am. And
it is a part of who you are.
And that gets, when you get made fun of constantly because of that, you're like, you run away from it or you stand there and you take it. And I just always have taken it. I know it's just sports and it seems silly.
Yeah, but you guys are kind of like puffing your chest now. Like, I know you haven't won the big one, but my God.
I don't know if puffing the chest is, at least that's not how I'm doing it. I very much appreciate Josh Allen. I love that we have him. I feel like we have a chance to win the Super Bowl any year he is our starting quarterback.
You absolutely do.
But do I think we're going to win? I hope so. We have a chance to win. And that's something I can say that I couldn't say, I could say now that I couldn't say for 17 straight years when we didn't make the playoffs. We went 17 years without making the playoffs. People forget that.
You certainly do. Yeah, I just think this Cowboys thing, like, to me, is one of the most culturally relevant sports teams, moments, franchise, like, whatever. Like,
they're a world brand.
Oh, man. And I just, even like me just sitting here looking, and I have a history because of my dad. And I have a history because they are my second favorite team. Like, I just, if I had to pick one, it would be the Dallas Cowboys because of the relationship I have with my father and these guys growing up. And it's been bringing back so many memories of like Thanksgiving days and
my brother putting on his Troy Aikman jersey.
Your brother's a Cowboys fan?
He was then. He was, my brother's 3 years younger than me. So first he picked the Dolphins because
the Dolphins have great uniforms.
And then just, because at that time, Kelly versus Marino was the AFC rivalry.
Yes.
And then the Cowboys started doing better. And all of a sudden my brother starts wearing Cowboys gear while they're beating the Bills in the Super Bowl.
He's just being a little dick.
And now he's a Vikings fan.
Is he? What made him a Vikings fan?
He wanted to get back into it like 2-3 years ago, so he picked the Vikings.
It is nice to have a somewhat local team.
And he has some friends, and also the Vikings have their own pained history, right? So when he was last a fan of somebody, he
didn't be like, oh, I'm going to go be a Patriots fan.
No.
You can't do that. It's funny, my daughter Cameron, she's 10, a little bit, a little bit like your brother, like she... It's fascinating to me. She's not into sports. Like, my 6-year-old is going to be a jock. Like, she loves sports. She watches it all with me. Like, she's into it. 10-year-old could not care less about, like, going to the Cyclone games. It's like, yeah, I hope they win, but I'm here to sing Sweet Caroline. Like, I'm here to do the juicy. She doesn't care. Sunday afternoon, she's wearing purple, loves the Minnesota Vikings. And I asked her, why do you like them? This is just not like you. Like, you've had all these opportunities. I've taken her to Braves games. I've taken her to NASCAR races. She doesn't care about anything. And she said, because I hate the Chiefs fans in my class. And as a Vikings fan, she goes, she's kind of an outlaw. Like, her idols are like, Avril Lavigne. And like, she likes this like really... I don't want to say she's
counterculture.
She's certainly not gothic, but like I could see her being one of those like teenagers that dresses like a punk rocker, and she's already starting to do this. And she feels that way being a fan of the Minnesota Vikings because of their losing history. And she's like, all the kids in my class, they're just these annoying Chiefs fans, and all they do is win. Well, I want to be the rebel. And I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool.
I respect that.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully it pays off for her at some point. But it's also possible she's going to have a broken heart for most of her life.
Yeah, it's probably not going to pay off. It's funny, too, because I thought as a Vikings fan, I really felt like O'Connell will bring us our world championship because I think he's that good of a coach. Until the last 3 weeks.
Now
it's over.
Is
We're
a
never
Super Bowl winning type of coach. But, man, how many coaches were good enough to win a Super Bowl, but it just didn't happen? There's only one of those that goes out a year. It's just hard. Marv Levy is one of the greatest coaches of all time. He just never got one. You know, Kevin O'Connell. KOC, as we like to call him. It's just, there's so much out of your control as a coach. Mm-hmm. And it's so much more about who your players are that, I don't know, you can never count on a Super Bowl ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, you just you talking about that reminded me of the Brett Favre,
yes,
Adrian Peterson team, and all these times where we thought we had it in the bag. I'm preaching to the choir with you. You've actually experienced it more than I have. So
in your lifetime, your team does have 4 Super Bowl losses.
Yeah, but I've never watched any of them.
Right, and you don't have to watch seemingly every national game. Them flashing back to Scott Norwood missing that kick.
No, I don't have to live with that.
I'm like,
I don't have to.
Thursday night game, I honestly don't have any idea why they even thought they should show that. Oh, probably because it was in Miami. That was probably the connection. But it sucks because there's a guy who is broken. Scott Norwood is still heartbroken today. Well, his life's never been the same. And then the next year he came back and made all of his kicks.
Gary Anderson dropped off the face of the planet.
Oh, yeah. What's he up to?
No, he moved to like the woods.
See, that's the worst part of sports to me.
Hey, Aiden, see if you can find out where former Vikings kicker Gary Anderson is at now. He really did after the Falcons.
Maybe you should. I wonder if you could reach out to him, have him on the CW pod. I mean that seriously.
Did you hear who's giving me a verbal? Who's going to come on the show?
No.
Cody Campbell, the guy who's changing college sports.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
We're just getting the time. He's a busy man, but
how long do you think he'll sit down with you? You think you'll get an hour out of him?
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
He's a good man.
The longer, the better. I mean, I'm a big fan of 2, 3, 4 hour podcasts if possible. So however much time he'd give you, because I know you're going to ask really good.
Well, that's my
questions.
thing. The whole business of college sports and like media and like his deal's fascinating. Like this whole thing, Scott, like we got a major problem in college sports. Like because it's completely dictated by Fox and ESPN. Like we need to find a way to get more power brokers in the sport with a stake in it, like the Netflix, the Amazon. Yes. Like we've got to make sure that these big media is not making, because they own the commissioners is the problem.
Yeah, and you can't.
And the commissioners all only look out for their leagues, and then to minimize it even more, like the schools only look out for themselves. Like they're not looking. They can say, "Oh, we're part of this family." They're not. Like we saw that with Texas and Oklahoma in the last round. Like, do you think UCLA is in a better spot in the Big Ten than it is the Pac-12? Absolutely not.
No way. No.
Like, there's no one who could make that argument.
The Iowa Nice Guy rant this week is about this very topic.
Oh, great.
It's sad to see. I understand why it's happening. It's all about the money. I get that. But I'm just hopeful somehow we can find a way to thread this needle and, in my estimation, save college.
We need really rich and powerful people to step up. And the fact that this Cody Campbell guy happens to be a Texas Tech alum is great because they're not in one of the big leagues.
Well, and this is
if he was at Georgia, it wouldn't mean as much. And he's one of the richest dudes in the world, and he happens to really care about this.
And on Monday, you were talking just not about the money necessarily, but you were talking about how important it is to keep Lanning in the Pacific Northwest. We don't want him in the SEC.
No.
That's the thing. We got to spread this stuff out, and money is going to solve this issue. That and this may seem going through making Kinnick the documentary. the lesson I took away from that is that you can make something that you're really proud of, but if you don't have money to market it, it only has so much leg to it. And then that's why I was like, I have to figure out a way myself. I don't care about being rich. I really don't. But I have to become independently wealthy. And that's when I found Hoodoo as on the first floor, able to get onto that. And because if that can pay off, if that can be the thing that I think it is going to be, the thing that it is already becoming, that all of a sudden now I have the power to market films and make the films that I want, to do the TV shows that I want to do, to maybe affect things the way this gentleman's doing at Texas Tech. Like, what could having another billionaire in Iowa, I'm not saying that's what I will be, but
I
having
sure
that
hope that
money,
you become a billionaire.
and we put that money into Iowa State, look, now you do have power.
That's the thing that like nationally people don't understand about Texas Tech. And it's why I hang on every play of this year. They're only ranked 11th because they're in the Big 12.
Absolutely.
Their roster is as good as Georgia. They went out and bought dudes. Like now you could question, is their coach, all that stuff is valid. I'm not saying they're going to win the national championship.
Well, there's something to be said about culture and having a history to pull on.
Florida State had that roster last year and it crumbled. So it's not a guarantee, but it's just funny to me. Like, when I love, and there's a lot of media people who resent me for this, but because media is very small and we like to protect our own and like all that. And I understand it and I appreciate it for the most part. But some of our sports commentators and writers are so bad now. Like, it's so lazy. And the whole, anyone who has a conversation about Texas Tech will say, well, they haven't won a conference championship, and they'll go back to like the Southwestern Conference or what. The fuck does that have to do with this?
It's totally different landscape.
Yeah, like it makes it, and it's easier for them. Texas and Oklahoma aren't there, right? Like this has nothing to do with the pre-Leach era, for God's sake, right? Like we need to call these people out on this bogus and these pollsters, and they're not even watching the games. They're not, and I don't even blame them. Like, they're just asked to do this. They're not paid for it. They already have really demanding jobs. They're traveling a lot you can't watch every game. But then, and I do this because I vote in a poll, and the deadline is like 6:30 in the morning on Sunday. Like last week, I did my best. Aiden saw I have my extra monitor. I'm watching all these games in the press box. I really, really, really take it seriously. But some weeks you cannot physically watch all these teams play by the time you have to vote in these polls.
And watching a broadcast, you don't really know what's going on. You have to watch the all 22.
Yes,
and you
you're
probably
right.
have to watch it multiple times. That's the only real way that you can see what's happening in the game. The broadcast on the camera shots, and I'm not blaming the broadcasts, I think are really great.
Doing a different thing than what we're talking about.
Yes, you can't see all the players.
No.
So you don't know what the heck is happening and what the safety's doing and the coverages, and was it their fault or was it the coaching? Like, all of that stuff actually matters. And how do you actually assess that? I don't know. All these polls, to me, they're just it's just marketing. That's all. It's just it's a tool to market games. So you put a number.
We have to find a way as an industry, like Cody's trying to do with the the business. I mean, basically what he's trying to do is like make this more like the NFL, where all the media rights, so it's not Fox versus ESPN.
We have to have more players.
Yes, right. But like, is our industry, like, we cannot run these polls like we did in 1990.
No.
Like, nothing has changed, Scott.
And the polls back then, they were shitty then.
Yeah.
Like, you're just continuing to do something because that's the way it was done. It's like baseball.
But we didn't know they were shitty because we couldn't watch all these teams.
Absolutely. And
nobody was
all
on
that
TV.
It was, right?
Yeah.
But even go back to like the 50s. This is how shitty the polls were. You had multiple national champions.
Oh, yeah. God.
Look at that system. That is the legacy system we're still working on. And now we have the college football playoff, which then Bigfoot's that old one. So at least we only have to deal with this for 6, 7, 8 weeks, however long that is.
Listen, I've been accused of being ageist when it comes to I'm not. I'm really not. Like, I have more respect for the people who came before us, and The problem is we have a lot of these guys who are in their 70s and 80s who are still power brokers in this sport. Like when it comes to the ratings and I mean, Bill Hancock with the college football playoff, like, my God, like he was old when the BCS was starting. And that was, they can't have a playoff. It's going to ruin the regular season, until the money, they were just protecting their friends in the bowl industry and whatever. You guys have all heard that rant. I'm not ageist. I'm just saying, like, you've got to be able to understand the tools that we have now and the different metrics that we have now, the analytics that we have now, the power ratings, that all this stuff matters. And then you got to have some eye test guys too. We need some coaches. We need, and we find a way to, I don't need 70 pollsters. I don't need it anymore. Like it used to be a necessity. We got to have a guy in the Northeast. We got to, because nobody watched Washington State play other than the people who were on that beat.
Right.
Because the games weren't on television. Well, now, like, every game is there. Can we not get these Pro Football Focus guys who are breaking down? Like, can we not get 10 of them? Can we get some odds makers voting in the polls? How about some really sharp college football minds like Joel Klatt? Like, why are we having these, newspaper people from small markets in Alabama? And I'm sure they're trying. Like, I'm not killing that person, but when you travel all weekend, like, I'd rather have a guy like Phil Steele who's sitting in his living room watching every game, voting in these polls, than these newspaper writers.
Well, you have the AP poll, which is obviously going to promote that.
Which is insane in 2025.
You just, honestly,
we need to create our own poll.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You just invite people and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Do you want to be a part of it? Because nowadays, that's how the game has changed, is that guys like you and me can actually affect that.
I pitched this to Brett Yormark a year ago.
What did he say?
I didn't directly talk to him. I pitched it to his people to get to him. And they thought it was a really good idea. They have done a little bit of stuff like this because I said, like, my whole thing is, guys, your preseason poll has to go away. Like, it's stupid. We don't know.
Yes, especially now with all the roster changes.
Because last year I refused to vote in it.
Good for you.
Because I don't know. I have no idea. Like, and I cover Iowa State as closely as anybody. I don't know how a lot of these transfers are going to be. I don't frickin'. You think Matt Campbell's being like, no, they try and protect everything. Yeah. It's insane. This world that we live in is insane.
Yeah, I think, could you just call it the expert poll?
I don't know what we call it, but what we're doing.
And
what we're doing now doesn't work.
No.
And the problem is it creates like perceptions. So like Texas Tech is up against it right now. But I'm telling you, if you talk to anybody who knows shit about football and they watch the games, they're just as good as these SEC schools.
Now, this is a good thing that has changed, though. Now we do have the playoffs. So as long as you're in that top tier and you can get in, you do get to prove it on the field. However, it's still running against you if you don't have the brand.
Correct.
We said as the Iowa Nice guys bit last week, LSU was playing Ole Miss, and it's only a top 25 matchup because of their names. They had done nothing to actually be in the top 25.
Well, Bloom pointed this out to me. We were discussing Notre Dame on our show last Sunday. They're like even money to make the playoff right now at 2-2. Because their schedule sucks. They're probably going to go 10-2. Like, it's a terrible. And they're not going to have a single win over a ranked team.
And what do you do?
Because they're Notre Dame. We just expect them to be good. And, oh, by the way, they have television ratings. And this is a television property we're talking about.
It is a television show at the end of the day. Yeah. That's what it is.
You get me going on that rant. I could talk about this for hours.
Some point, if we have some time, maybe over some Steeple Ridge, I'm legitimately serious. We should figure out a way.
We should put it on paper to make our own poll for next year.
To actually make an expert poll, whatever it's called.
We know enough people in the industry. I think that
I don't want people who are boring.
I need to pitch this to Cody Campbell when he's on the show.
He would be a great guy to have, obviously, back
Cody,
behind
can you put $1 million behind this idea?
Just have people who know football?
I don't need $1 million. I just need influence. That's all we need.
All you really need is to get a few known people to sign up.
Klatt?
If you get Joel Klatt, then people will start be like, oh, he's in this poll.
Felica. Aiden's best buddies with Felica.
Boom.
Friend of the program.
There are some like great NFL scouts out there that, like, I wonder, these
odds
people,
makers. We need odds makers.
Yes.
We need like 5 guys from Vegas who.
And their computers.
My favorite thing, all right, I'm going to have a serious talk with just a few Iowa State fans, but you guys need to understand that when the lines come out, nobody has a problem with Iowa State.
No.
So when it comes out that you're an underdog to Cincinnati, nobody in Las Vegas gives a shit about who you are.
It's indifferent.
They're not hawks. They simply are trying to make money. It's not a disrespect thing.
It is about reducing risk.
Yes.
So it's more about what the public perception is that they're playing against.
I've been getting messages all week.
Yes.
Oh, they're disrespecting us.
No.
No,
they want people to see the line and be like, oh, I got to bet that. So yes, what you're feeling is exactly what they want you to feel, because they want you to go in and put a bet down because you think they're stupid, and what they really are working on is just trying to make money and reduce risk. They want to, ideally, this is an oversimplification, they're trying to get equal betting on both sides, because then there's no risk for them.
They're going to win no matter what.
They just get
the juice.
The juice. That's it. That's what they're trying to do. That's their goal. Oversimplification, of course, but ultimately that's what it is.
I actually thought about you. What is today's Monday night? In this
Monday Night Football,
I finished my book.
Oh,
the last words.
Congratulations!
It was just like the author notes and the acknowledgments and all that stuff. But I was like, Scott, I think, is one of the only people who I relate to your Kinnick documentary on like the monumental task of working on something. Mine was 3 years and 2 months.
That's a long time, man. 3
years and 2 months since I because I did it basically at night. Like I wasn't sitting around at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
And it's such a writing is such, it's a grind.
Yeah. So it's like editing probably in a weird way. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you guys
It's
do
both.
That.
It's writing and rewriting and
it's
rewriting.
Funny how our
and
brains are different, because I could not sit and edit video. I used to do that. Like I've done it before. Because it's never right.
Nope.
Like you can always make another edit.
And then always think about editing yourself and you realize the performance. That line.
That's where I'm at right now with this book, because we've been in the editing process for about a month and a half while I'm still just finishing up. And I bet I've read every chapter 15 times.
Oh, and you don't want to read it ever again.
Well,
not till you forget it.
Because you're just looking for shit.
Yes.
You're just looking for
which is what
mistakes.
Our brains do every morning when we wake up, Chris. We're scanning immediately for threats. And so the anxiety builds immediately. So now you're trying.
You know me too well, brother.
So now you are trying to do this in a book where you're trying to find your own mistakes, which is what we do all the time, which is in an unhealthy way.
Yes.
This is part of the professional process. So it's just, I'm sure your brain is like a little confused, like, what am I supposed to be doing here?
You'll love this. So the copy editor, like the process of it is they will, like there's some authors who, if they're going to add a comma, it needs to be approved by the author. And they sent me the first round of editing back, I don't know, however many weeks ago this was. And let's say it was a 3,000 word chapter, I don't know. There were probably like 170 notes. And they were like, hey, you need an instead of a.
Yeah. And
I finally told them, I go, if it is grammatical, change it. Don't even tell me.
Yeah, I'm paying you.
Yeah, I cannot process. And this is why I've hired you, because I need a copy editor. Like anybody who's putting out a book needs a copy editor. And
they should know what is an important comma and what's not, because a comma can completely change what you mean.
I said, if it doesn't change the interpretation of what is, I go, you absolutely just do it.
Well done.
Oh my God.
That's the right move.
When I saw it came back, that like just terror.
Yes. Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, I'm sure he's doing a great job, or she, I don't even know. It's some person whoever was assigned via the publisher.
It's probably just AI at this point.
whatever.
Hey, AI is great at finding grammatical mistakes.
You know what it's been really great at in this process is
research.
Yeah, the research aspect of it. Like for one chapter, it's the last chapter in the book, and it's about the growth of Iowa State financially and from a business standpoint over the last 20 years. And it wasn't perfect on how it helps me, but man, it probably saved me 4 hours.
What I say, it delivers like the marble to your front door, and now you don't have to go find the marble. You still have to sculpt it.
What it does is it just is, I'll give you the example. What I wanted to know was in 2004, what were the fan donation and booster levels of every Big 12 school compared to in 2024? And it's incredible. It can, and it'll like give you what it has, and then you'll say, can you list it out for me? And then what it does, like for people who've never used the Chat GPT before, it shows you all the different sources. So then you can go and click on the link to go and like research it yourself. And it just kept taking me to these places. And then like, I'm really proud of the chapter because I think I did some really great reporting, but I wouldn't have like known that this data even existed had it not led me in that direction.
And a Google search can only do so much. And then it does dig deep. It's such a nice tool.
There's real bias in a Google search, and it's not like political or nothing like that. It's because of SEO. There could be really good stuff on the internet, but their website's shit.
Yes.
So Google can't find it.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm very excited that when does the book come out? Can you announce that, or do you know?
The exact date, it will be in like mid-November.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. The cover's done. Everything's done.
Genuinely, congratulations. That is a huge undertaking.
Thank you.
I assume this means there will be more books.
I hope so, because I really enjoy it.
And if this one performs well, which I think it will.
I learned a lot. Hopefully the next process won't be as
much faster.
Yeah, because I learned a lot. You know, the biggest thing I learned though, Scott, is the importance of just starting. Like if it's the book, if it's a chapter, if it's like in
just
your
one sentence,
working out, if it's like whatever it is in your life. I can be like a motivational speaker on this now because of the weight loss thing, and then because of the book. Like you just have to start. Like so if I may interrupt, no, you're
for
fine.
me, it is the weight of the future that gets too much. Where I think I want to work out, but man, do I want to work out for the next 40 years? And then it starts weighing, and like, I can't, that's too much. And just taking it, just starting and being like, I'm just doing this one set. Even like sometimes it's one rep, I have to just break it down. I'm just going to do this one rep.
Saving for retirement, paying off debt, any of this stuff, you have to put like pen on the paper, and then it compounds, and then you build from that, and you start like your own process. Like my process with this thing, 80% of the book was written in my daughter's bed. While she's sleeping on my lap after I because listen, we had a problem. Like kid didn't want to go to bed unless dad was there.
And at least for me, for writing, what I've always found is what stops me is trying to make it a finished product the first go.
No.
What I found is I have to get to the end, come hell or high water, no matter how much crap is in that water. But when I get to the end and I can look at it, I'll be like, oh, I can keep this. This needs to be changed. This needs to be fully replaced. And then all of a sudden you see, we're not breaking new ground here. It's the old adage, you eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And as I get older, I realize some of these sort of fundamental cheesy things are absolutely so true.
The funny thing that I did, my lesson learned, is I thought when I was starting the process in like 2022 or 21 or whenever it was, I tried like 4 different word processing platforms. Like I'm like, oh, Scrivener, this is what sophisticated writers. So I spend like $90 on that or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I need I don't like that. Like, it doesn't matter.
It's procrastination.
I ended up writing it on Apple Pages, right?
Absolutely. And
then you save it in a Google Doc, and it's in the cloud.
It's the same with
like,
working out, right? What's more important than the actual exercises you do is that you do it consistently.
An old-fashioned push-up goes a long way if you do it all the time.
And if you write consistently and intensely, even if you're just putting in an hour a day, you're going to make progress.
That's how this book was. It was an hour a day, 2 hours a day for 3 years.
That is pushing a boulder up the hill. Now, hopefully, unlike Sisyphus, you make it to the top. And it sounds like you just did.
Well, we'll see. I'm in a lot of debt, and I got to go and sell the thing. But
please support the sponsors.
Unlike
some Steeple.
Unlike the documentary, I have to print these things, which is a cost. And that's like a whole. You can't really digitize that. There will be an audiobook for those. People
are you doing it?
Yeah,
are you gonna read it?
I'm going to read it. Yeah, it's just I've got to get the physical.
Let me read it.
You can read it.
No, I mean out loud.
I'll
I
hire
want to pretend to be you. No. You have to do it. You have to do it.
I don't want to.
You should do it in an accent, though.
I actually did after we got back from Ireland. My Siri now is an Irish woman.
Oh, an Irish lady.
Yeah.
We were just reading about the cyclones.
Love the people of Ireland. Have you ever been over there?
Oh, yes. I have. I like it.
These people.
Would you, do you have an Irish accent? Can you do it for me?
No.
Just,
I actually did a play once.
Yeah.
It was called Blue Kettle.
Oh, the Blue Kettle Day.
And
just put it on there.
And I kept being Scottish. I would always revert, and I would sound Scottish instead of Irish.
Oh.
Yeah,
Go back to England. Come to Scotland.
Yeah, I would
brothers
always,
and sisters are free.
My director would be like, "You're sounding Scottish again.
You're Scottish. We need you to be Irish, not Scottish."
Yeah, I'll always be, even when like the P.S. I love you. You remember that movie?
No,
you never seen P.S. I love you.
Who's in that? It sounds like a Scottish guy.
No, he's Irish.
Oh, he's an Irish guy.
P.S. I love you.
P.S.
What's
I
his
love
name?
You.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler.
He's really Irish. I want.
I thought he was Australian.
What is Gerard Butler? I swear to God that he is Irish.
Good eye, mate.
Let's put another
shrimp on a barbie.
Bad news, he's Scottish.
God damn it. See, I can't ever get him straight. Well, the movie's Irish, and
those people.
So he was probably talking Scottish.
Yeah, those
See, I don't know the difference. I can't tell the difference.
The Brits can. They're so good
oh my!
at accents.
Well, I started. I get obsessive over things.
Yeah,
I got obsessed with the folks in Belfast and the whole thing.
Oh, Northern Irish.
Yeah. So, dude, you know what?
Rory McIlroy.
Keith Murphy, I love you. Big Catholic. He was basically, don't go to Belfast. And it's like an industrial city. The most fun I had out one night was in Belfast. We had so much fun in Belfast. The people, like, it was crazy. And it's only because, like, I wouldn't want to live there. It was batshit crazy the night we went out in Belfast.
What do you mean?
The
crazy?
people.
Like just drugs and hookers?
They just had a blast.
Oh, they're just drinking.
And they thought it was fascinating that 3 American dudes were just walking around. My favorite story from the whole trip. So this is like you got to realize we leave Atlanta at like 8 o'clock at night. We land in Dublin at 8 in the morning. And we immediately get our car and we drive to Belfast. Because our first night, we're staying at the Titanic Hotel. We're going to go do the whole Titanic thing the next day. And we did the whole thing. So we go out to dinner, families, everybody's there. First night, we haven't slept. I don't sleep on planes, whatever. Families, the wives are like, hey, we're going to take the kids in. You guys go and have a good time, which is very kind of them. We appreciated it. Okay. First bar we go to without the wives and kids, and it's like there's like a cover band playing, which is hilarious because all the cover bands just play American music the whole time, which I thought was fat. They're playing like Taylor Swift and like, anyway.
American culture's everywhere.
So we call them Guinea because it's plural.
Multiple.
Yeah. We've had a few Guinea at this point, and there's this like bachelorette party for a bunch of like 60-year-old women that's happening. And they think we're pretty cool.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
These are all Northern Irish ladies?
Yeah. And
Okay.
hefty gals. Okay. Gals probably pushing 280.
280.
And where are y'all from? And I go, America. Fuck you.
What did you say?
I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what to do.
You didn't give them an FU back?
Yeah, I said, yeah, fuck you. No, I didn't. I was like, what's wrong, mate?
Oh, there you go.
No, we chatted up, had a good time.
Yeah, they were just busting your balls.
No, she really.
Oh, she
didn't
really
like.
hates America.
She does not like the United States of America, but she grew to love us. But it was just like the people there. But so then we go to another bar, similar experience. We had so much fun in Belfast, and this is why you travel, though, right? Mm-hmm. To experience different parts of the world. Now, I had a blast in Aran Islands, one of my favorite places I've ever been.
Did you go to Inishmore?
Yes.
Inishir?
Yes. No, we just went to the big one.
Okay.
Inishmore. Amazing. Belfast is not the favorite place that I visited in Ireland, but it was the best night out. Because we just, and you just see, it's this is how 25-year-olds live in. It's crazy. They were just batshit crazy.
Yeah, there's not a lot to do on that island.
Oh my God.
So they know how to drink from a young age.
Oh my God. We had so much fun. And I couldn't.
I tried to talk you out of
more.
going on that trip. I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, we had a blast. We had a blast.
That's wonderful.
It's all about the people you're with. Everything is about the people you're with.
When I did my backpacking trip through Europe with Jordan Whalen, one of my favorite nights, we were in Rome and we were at a friend's apartment, and we didn't leave the apartment. We just sat around, played cards, drank Roman beer, heard the motorcycles going by outside. You can see the Colosseum in the distance. But we just stayed in that space, and it was one of the best nights that we ever had, because it is ultimately not about geography. It's about the human beings you're sharing the space with.
It's kind of like what we're doing at Iowa Everywhere.
I was just going to say now is what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean,
I love that we can, do virtual. I think that's great, where you and Hassel can be on all the time, and the delay has gotten figured out, from years ago. If you remember, when Eli and Peyton first tried to do their thing, it just didn't work. It
really is all about the technology. Yeah. And it gets better every year.
And it's really nice. But I think there is no substitute for being in the same space with the person. It just changes. I mean, the few times we've had this sort of, we touched each other, and, it's just a different connection. And yeah. I'm pushing for more and more of that, not just when you're on camera and stuff, but, with my neighbors, and trying to,
so true.
As AI continues to become more and more indistinguishable between our lives, I just want that human connection.
Well, you had a note when we were preparing for the show about as it gets darker earlier, mental health, and one of the things I met a new neighbor, Matt, listens to the show, and he came and introduced himself to me. This is last week, and said, "Hey, I just moved into the neighborhood," which I was like, wow, that's amazing that this guy just walked right up to me, shook my hand, and introduced himself to me. People don't do that anymore. I have neighbors who live across the street from me I've never met in 10 years. It's how weird is that? It's the truth. So I guess what I was thinking about when this happened, our neighborhood is very social in the spring and the summer. When it hits a certain temperature, I don't see people until the first 70-degree day in April, right? And that sucks. I agree with you completely. I was talking to Aiden about it before you were here. We've got to find a way to see each other more,
especially in the winter.
Yes,
not having the sun out. We're animals. Right, we need the sun,
vitamin D supplements,
and it not only just because of that, but also it brings us out into the open where we can interact with each other. And we have to. And I'm saying this to myself, as much to everybody else. Now until the spring, we just crossed in over the fall. Now to spring, we have to ask for help much more than we do normally. And that probably applies all year round, but especially in Iowa, We are awful. We are great at offering help. We are terrible at asking for it. And I'm going to try and do this and ask for help more, because one of the hardest things for me to do every day, maybe the hardest thing for me to do for most of my life, Chris, is just get out of bed. Mm-hmm. The brain just sees the world as just this, something terrible is going to happen. And I have to get out. And especially when it gets cold and the bed feels so warm and it's still dark out, you don't want to get out, at least for me. And I just say that to everybody. Maybe your mental health and stuff is great and you're all positive all the time. There are people in your life who, if you haven't seen for a while or heard from for a while, shoot them a text, maybe give them a call. Try and make plans with them. I would just say there's a lot of folks out there who are struggling. And if you can, just human contact, even for people who say they're a lone wolf, part of me doesn't truly believe that 100%. I think...
Yeah, but lone wolves even need...
There's no such... The lone wolf is in itself a fallacy. Wolves, if you're a lone wolf, you ain't going to make it very long.
You're going to die. You're like a lone chimp.
Exactly.
The chimps all need...
So, not to be too cheesy or anything.
Look at us taking it back to the start of the show.
That's how we wrap it up. And I'm so sorry, everybody, letting my chimp legs out today. I thought we were going to be sitting at that table over there, so I wore shorts.
It's interesting. There was a...
And now...
Is that like a thing now? Because I used to just wear shorts and spread my legs all the time and nobody said anything. And now I feel like I get called out. Is it just because my balls are bigger?
That, and also you probably just became more self-aware because finally somebody said something that stuck in your head and you're like, now you're so aware of it that you're recognizing it. It's like the number 6'7". Everybody's seeing 6'7" everywhere.
You want to know a defining moment? I can't just make this up. This is a defining moment in my childhood. Was my dad and I couldn't have been older than 6-7 years old. And he had to stop and like drop something off at a friend's house. And his friend was sitting on his steps. Like he had concrete steps that led up to the house. The house was kind of on a hill. And his nutsack was hanging out of his shorts, like the old Voight coaching shorts. Yeah, remember, this is
awkward.
Like late 80s, 90s. And like you could just see a vein.
Little chicken brain.
And like a total ball sticking out. And
just one?
Yeah, just one. And we were sitting there. My dad and I were, and my dad and him are like they're having a discussion that goes on for 10, 15 minutes. And I'm just standing there like, I'm like 6. But I'm like, I still remember it. This is 35 years later, and I can't get that vein out of my mind.
That was probably your first non-family ball that you saw.
And it was bulging because it was squished, and it was like he had like the Voight coaching shorts on. I think he had just got done mowing his lawn or something.
That is way worse than having broccoli in your teeth.
Do you tell him?
I think so.
Even
but not at your 6. No, you can't do that. But did your dad not have the right angle, or was your dad just not also noticing on purpose?
I don't know. I don't think I ever brought it up to my dad.
Well, hope he listens. Dad, did you see that ball that one day?
It was 36 years ago.
A moment that I remember like it was
just
yesterday.
Why you listen to watch the CW pod. You just never know. Well, it's good to see you, brother.
Yeah, I love you, man.
Love you too. We'll keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Good luck with the new Iowa Nice thing.
Thank you. And if anybody hasn't downloaded Hootie yet, please do. Big things are coming. I'm really excited. Someday, hopefully, we'll come back. We'll have such big news. We're going to talk about Hootie and how he changed the game.
You're just going to be so rich. You just buy this building that we're in right now.
I'm going to buy a big chunk of Iowa everywhere, Chris. That's what I'm going to do.
You can have mine.
No. No, I don't want you to leave. I'm not in if you're not in.
I'm just kidding. I ain't going anywhere. I'm gonna die here.
You're gonna write more books.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know when I'm gonna have time for that now. That was like, honestly, it was right after I quit radio, and I'm like, I need to find some income.
Oh no! So it was like this emergency hatch that you pulled, and now you're like, The hatch is open.
And then like we do the Iowa everywhere, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't have time to write this book anymore, and it was just this. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm glad that you stuck to it.
Yeah. He's Scott Siepker. Thanks for watching. Thanks to our sponsor, Steeple Ridge Channel Seed Studios. We'll be back next week here on the CW Pod.